Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I am its host, my name is Andrei. I greet you, welcome. This is our 29th lesson. We're talking about HTML and JavaScript and topic display your location on maps. Let's go talk about this. Okay, so seeing my location as 34.2047 to minus 90.575028 is great, but a map would really come in handy right now. Mapping your position. As we told you up front, the Geolocation API is pretty simple. It gives you a way to find, and as you'll see track as well where you are, but it doesn't provide you with any tools to visualize your location. To do that, we need to rely on the 30-part tool, and as you might guess, Google Maps is by far the most popular tool for doing that. Obviously, Google Maps isn't part of the HTML spec, but it does interpret well with HTML5, and so we don't mind little diversion here and there to show you how to integrate it with the Geolocation API. If you want to be delivered, you can start by adding this the head of your HTML document, and then we'll work on adding a map to your page. Let's look on Sublime Text. And don't forget, remember, you will find all the code materials of this lesson under this video in the description link to Google Drive, Sublime Text and Validator. So this is our code. This is the location of the Google Maps Geolocation API. Make sure you type this exactly as is. Including this sensor query parameter, the API won't work without this. We're using sensor is equal true because our code is using your location. If we are just using map without your API location, we type sensor is equal false. How to add a map your page? Now that you're linked to the Google Map API, all the functionality of Google Maps is available to you through JavaScript. But we need to place to put our Google Map, and to do that we need to define an element that is going to hold it. Here is the div. Note we're defining some style in my log.css that sets the map div to 400 px by 400 px with a black border. Getting ready to create a map. To create the map we need two things, a latitude and longitude, and we know how to get those. And we need a set of options that describe how we want the map created. Let's start with the latitude and longitude. We already know how to get them with the Geolocation API, but the Google API likes them bundled up in its own object. To create one of those objects we can use a constructor supplied by Google. So this is our code next. And Google Maps precedes all the methods of the Google Maps API. Here is the constructor, which takes our let and long and returns a new object that hosts the above. Don't forget, constructors start with an uppercase letter. Google gives us some options we can set to control how the map is created. For instance, we can control how far zoomed in or out the initial map view is, where the map is centered, and the type of map, like a road, the style map, a satellite view, or both. Here is how we create the options. So, the zoom option can be specified at 0 to 1. Experiment with the zoom. Bigger numbers correspond to being zoomed in more, so your more detail 10 is about city sizes. Here is our new object we just created. We want the map to be centered on this location. You can also try satellite and hybrid as options here. Displaying the map. Let's put all this together in a view function. So, show map. That takes a set of coordinates and displays a map on your page. Var map. We are declaring a global variable map that is going to hold the Google map after we created it. You'll see how this gets used in a bit. We use or latitude and longitude from the coordinates object and use them to create a Google Maps lat-long object. Okay, we create the map options and the object with the options we want to set for our map. And finally, we grab the map D from the DOM and pass it in the options map options to the map constructor to create the Google Maps map object. This displays the map in your page. Here is another constructor from Google's API, which takes an element and our options and creates and returns the map object. We are assigning the new map object to your global variable map. Go ahead and add this code to your JavaScript file and the bottom. And now we just need to tie into our existing code. Let's do that by adding the display location function. We'll call show map from display location after we update the other divs on the page. Test drive your new heads-up display. Here's our new Google map. We're showing the biker's location at 34.204.72 and minus 90, 57, 52, 8. Of course, you're probably somewhere else. Make sure you added all the new code on the previous page and also added to the new page map div to your HTML. Then reload your page, and if the browsers can determine your location, you'll see a map. It's nice there a way to see our exact location on the map, like with one of those push pin thingies. You really want their new bike, this, and try and line on this address. Okay, and sticking a pin in it. It would be more useful if you could see exactly where you're located on the map. If you're using Google Maps, then you're probably familiar with the push pins used to mark the location. And for items you search, for example, if you search for Space Needle in Seattle, Washington, you'll get a map with a pin near the Space Needle area in the city. And if you click on the pin, you'll see an information window with more details about the item. Well, push pins are called markers, and they are one of the many things offered in the Google Maps API. And we will talk about this next, continue in the next lesson. And next topic, testing the marker will be topic, and man will back at the Geolocation API. So we will talk about this in the next lesson. And here is our 29 lesson about HTML and JavaScript is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, please. Put likes and share with friends. Comment, eat bananas, eat chocolated nuts, drink more water for the brain, do exercise every evening, meditate, and so on. That's all. Thank you. Bye.